You're watching KYOT, Coyote. Bungie's game before Halo, Oni. Bungie West more specifically developed Oni, a third-person shooter with a heavy emphasis on hand-to-hand combat. This is a game I've wanted to play for so long, but never got around to it until now. There's some what I like to call detailed delights in Oni, some similarities in Halo despite Oni being a completely different game. Starting off with the voice actor, Pete Stacker. Let's listen.
Give me another reading.
All systems nominal. She's doing fine.
This is a mistake.
You aren't really in a position to criticize.
The Syndicate is using the warehouse to shuttle contraband. Chung went underground to gather evidence. He failed to report in this morning. Find him, and get me what I need to shut the place down. Or shut it down yourself.
Don't keep it loaded, son. You'll have to find ammo as you go.
What are you sending her into?
It's a simple bust, in and out. She needs a trial run.
22 years later, the convincing and talented voice actors is what keeps my attention on this story here in Oni. The voices are fantastic. Even when written dialogue is poked fun of by Bungie's former employees, the delivery is what's important.
Chung. It's Chung. I found him.
Dead?
Yes, sir.
Keep moving.
Okay. Now you're going to access numerous consoles in this game. Take a listen to this. Does it sound familiar, this little sound effect? It's from the Covenant computers in Halo Combat Evolved. The rooms are typically large, with noticeable repeating textures, even for a game in the early 2000s. Vast rooms accommodate the movement and momentum playstyle, but I couldn't help but notice the footstep sound effects similarities. Since we are on the topic of sound, let's listen to the awesome score composed by Marty O'Donnell, Michael Salvatore, and Paul Sebastian.
Show me what you got!
Objective data. Stand by.
I got a kick out of the score, never had I listened to it before. Elements such as enemies picking up their dropped firearm or wrapping up the legs of a fleeing opponent helps establish more depth to the gameplay. Oni's hand-to-hand combat mechanics seem to be a pedigree of other games. I'm reminded of the older Spider-Man games with Tobey Maguire, in which the combat system is more fleshed out. Even the Batman Arkham games feel like a more dynamic version of this fighting system. Discharging your firearm while getting stunned and in the middle of the animation is probably what made this game feel like a movie when it was released. It seems like a game that the player could easily put themselves into the character and come up with their own story. Then, you as the player get brought back into the story of Oni with these sweet cutscenes for the time period. Referencing the pop culture during this time, The Matrix had captivated the youth, intertwining the art of kung fu and firearms with inbound sequels due. For video game pop culture, Perfect Dark for the Nintendo 64 was welcomed the year prior, ushering in a new age femme fatale archetype of espionage.
Welcome to the Musashi Heavy Manufacturing Concern. How can I be of service?
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Agent Thors.
We are with the TCTF, and we hereby order you to cease and desist all operations. We have reason to suspect that this facility is involved in the manufacture of illegal technology.
Of course, officer. I'm sure I can get someone to help you.
They're here, finally!
Is everything ready?
You know it. They aren't getting out of here alive.
Let me know when things start to get messy.
Someone will be right with you.
New objective.
I noticed something with these light fixtures. The light effect looks familiar, doesn't it? Can you guess what this reminds me of? It looks like the assault rifle's flashlight light effect in Halo Combat Evolved. Here, let's get a good look at it and compare both. Some similarities. The assault rifle's looks brighter, but you can see the same illumination design. Although there is another example on a much larger, brighter, and hotter scale that this light effect reminds me of. It's the Pillar of Autumn's Wildcat explosion that blew up the Halo ring in Combat Evolved. Awesome. This light effect has gone a long way. You know, Bungie likes their large generator rooms with things that spin.
Don't make me hurt you!
Just like spy movies and video games back in the day, there are lasers you can slide, duck, jump over, or just take your time in a less cool fashion. When you get it right and move through quickly, it can be rewarding. Here you can recognize some detailed Foley reused in Halo Combat Evolved. Of course, Halo has plenty of sounds the team had to record, edit, and perfect, but I always think it's neat when a recognizable sound is carried over into another game franchise from the same developers. It's like a humble trademark.
How is she holding up?
Well, according to Shinatama, her Deodan latency has crept up to 29, but her bioplasmic waveforms are holding.
So she's still stable?
Well, so far as we can tell, yes, but prolonged stress could be dangerous.
She insisted.
And this is why I was against moving to Phase 3. We have no right to put that in.
I'm getting tired of listening to your self-righteous tirades. Kanoko is as much your creature as she is mine.
Ooh, creature.
The main gates and lobby security doors have been locked through the security controls, and something is keeping our agents at bay.
I'm happy I got around to playing Oni, as the art always intrigued me when I looked up Bungie's previous games. It's interesting seeing the work done by the West Coast Bungie division, while Halo was going through its development process. I'll continue playing it, that's for sure.
Stronger and stronger.
Go ahead and check out my other videos I've made.